My name is Ashley Edmondson, and I'm a program manager at Maine Health. We are a non-for-profit integrated health system here in the state, and I work for a program called Let's Go. In the next few minutes, I'm going to provide you a brief overview of the program and who we are and how we partner with communities. And then you're going to hear directly from one of our partnered out-of-school sites and about her successes and challenges in the work. Let's Go is a community engagement initiative. We're working to create environments where the healthy choice is the easy choice. Let's Go, we use evidence-based strategies to improve policies, practices, and environments that support healthy eating and physical activity. We're very grateful to all of our partnered Let's Go sites and their commitment to improve the health and well-being of the folks in their community. Let's Go uses a multi-setting model where we reach community members where they live, learn, work, and play. We partner with schools, school districts, school nutrition programs, early care and education programs, out-of-school programs, and healthcare practices. Each of these settings gains access to tools and resources to help them promote healthy messaging and encourage healthy choices. Our main message is 5210, 5 or more fruits or vegetables every day, 2 hours or less of screen time, 1 hour of physical activity, and 0 sugary drinks, drink more water. This message is promoted across the state from our program through marketing, media campaign work, and also through all of our partnered sites. To help influence environmental and behavior change, we focus on 5 strategies, which are actions that sites can take in order to create environments, healthy environments. So each of our strategies align with our messages. The first strategy is to limit unhealthy food and provide healthy choices. Second strategy is to prohibit the use of food as a reward, which both, as you can see, align with our 5 message. Our third strategy is to limit recreational screen time, which of course aligns with our second message of 2 hours or less. Provide opportunities for physical activity, aligning with our 1 message. And last but not least, limit or eliminate sugary drinks, provide water, which aligns with our final message around 0 sugary drinks. So we really encourage our sites to adopt these strategies into practice in order to create environments where the healthy choice is the easy choice. And our program provides educational materials and trainings, technical assistance for sites to learn and explore while these strategies matter, the evidence to support them, and how best to put them into practice. We know that sustainable environmental change doesn't happen on a linear timeline with a clear start and finish, which is why we encourage our partnered sites to follow these steps every year. First, they assess and develop a plan using our Let's Go self-assessment tool, which we've incorporated many of the HEPA standards. It helps them identify strengths and opportunities of growth, where they might want to make change and develop a plan for the year. Then they promote the healthy messaging of the 5210 and other educational tools that we have. They take action, put their plan into action, and then sustain those efforts through reviewing their current policies and aligning them with best practices to support healthy eating and physical activity. And then last but not least, we encourage every achievement, whether it's big or small, that we celebrate it with them, for them, and have them promote their great work within social media. Now I'm going to hand it over to one of our partnered sites, Amy Moody, who's been with us for many years, and she's going to talk more about what this looks like in action.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashley. So I'm Amy Moody. I am a 21st Century Community Learning Center program director. And if you can sound off in the comments, if you also are a 21st Century site and where you're located, that would be great. And so I work for LearningWorks. It's a educational nonprofit located in Southern Maine. We have 11 sites serving nearly 500 youth with around 76 staff members since July of this year. Like many out of school time programs, we are finally back in person, and we're almost starting from scratch since the pandemic. So goal setting has been very important at this time. A part of 21st century goals, one of the main goals is health and wellness, and to increase the opportunities to youth during out of school time. So that's after school, before school, and during the summer through nutrition and physical activity. Like Ashley said, we've been in partnership for 7 or more years. And what that looks like is that we have a local representative from Let's Go. That local rep reaches out to me throughout the school year, and we touch base. She asked me what's going on, what's going well in your program with health and wellness. She calls or texts, emails, does site visits. And then when she has a little bit of feedback, she gives me resources. I complete an assessment, very user friendly. It took 10 minutes or less. In an ideal setting, you would sit with your staff and fill it out together to get a real unbiased opinion of where your program is at, and then set your annual goals. And all of the annual goals is aligning to 21st century, which for the state of Maine, we already are doing program quality goal setting. So it's very much in line. The Let's Go assessment does have HEPA standards in it. Next slide. So the goals, after reviewing our program, this was really like in a quote unquote post-pandemic world. We really wanted to look at our after school program and get a pulse of like where we were at. And we saw that we needed to increase opportunities for physical activity. I feel like that's always a goal. Increasing outside learning opportunities. There were many times where being outside was the safest space for us. We're located in Maine, so we really had to get creative year round. And then increase access to healthy foods. I saw that food insecurity was really a popular concern at the beginning of this webinar, and my community is right in there. And so we designed our goals to address these 3 goals. And so the way that we were thinking out of the box to increase physical activity and outdoor learning was to create a 5th grade legacy trail. And so this is where we did the assessing, we designed our goals, and now we're putting it into action. We saw the need and we're problem solving. And so this was a student-led activity. They wanted a way to put their mark on the school in a positive, productive way. The after school program and the school day, this was a school day linkage with the out of school time program, which made it really sweet and effective. And we were in the out of school time program, we're a STEM based program. So we were able to integrate a lot of, well, what's the distance, nature education, as well as obviously a lot of physical activity of like marking the trails and clearing some land. Next slide. These are a few more pictures. Students were using the engineering design process, which for anyone that's doing STEM programming, it really aligns with it. And it's reinforcing STEM concepts in a real world setting, which is pretty awesome. Next. With this comes challenges, but also opportunities. Challenges included limited funding. we don't have the trailhead that we want to have yet. And there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen. So there's a lot of different ideas about how students want to utilize this legacy trail, and then the community, the school community, the out of school time community. So just making sure all voices are being heard. There's so many opportunities though. We'd love to add a story walk sometime, which this would be a great way to partner with Let's Go as they rent out a story walk. And a story walk, for those of you that don't know, there's permanent structured ones that are like wooden stations that you can set up along a walking trail or along a playground, and you can update story pages. So it's literacy and physical activity embedded. There's also like makeshift ones that are less permanent, but more financially possible. We'd like to embed some more nature education or history into the trail, or potentially an annual trail walk or fundraiser. Another one of our goals was to increase access to healthy food. During the pandemic, we realized that so many families were going without, and they were really accessing food services. They were showing up to the schools during the pandemic. They were, going to the bus stops is what we had. When kids weren't coming to school, food was still being able to get out in some capacity. When students returned, we realized that they're getting breakfast and lunch, but then what? So that's when the out of school time program decided, okay, we're doing healthy cooking anyways as a part of our 21st century goal. How can we make this more beneficial to our youth and family? So we decided, instead of going to the grocery store, we're going to partner with a local farm, and we're going to purchase community supported agriculture shares with them. And so we would have designated amounts of fresh produce for 20 weeks. And it costs a little bit more than shopping at the grocery store, but it feels so good. And it's created another partnership that's long lasting. And I don't know about you, but like through the pandemic, I ordered so much from Amazon, and I had a very guilty conscience, and it felt so good to support someone right down the street. And what a difference for the kids when we returned to in person and they were able to know where their food is coming from. The science and nutrition education just like exploded. And now we've been doing this for 2 years. It's now built into our annual budget. So it's a budget line. It's a non-negotiable of we need to provide nutrition education. We need to provide STEM activities, and this is how we're going to do it. This is a few ways that we implemented, and we did taste tests. So we did not have access to a kitchen. So we had to think smart. And so we did a lot of salads. We did a taste test of lettuce, spinach, arugula. Like so many kids had never even had that. We created veggie monsters. And next page. Next slide. Veggie monsters. And this was a really low stake way for students to try new vegetables without being put on the spot. A taste test can be a little more on the spot, but designing their own veggie monsters, they were able to use the engineering design process, which reinforced all of our STEM activity, STEM curriculum. And then they were able to pick out the foods that they wanted, and they could try it afterwards. Obviously, a lot of hand washing too went on, but it was really awesome that they were able to try new foods. Obviously, there were some challenges. We didn't have cooking space. It didn't work out for us this year. So that's something that is also an opportunity. It's an opportunity to write a grant or connect with maybe a local church or organization that does have access to a kitchen. We're currently operating it in-house with after-school staff facilitating the nutrition education, which it's done well for 2 years. When we do it again next year, I would love to partner with a local community college or state college and have nutrition interns come in and implement some higher quality education, partner with Maine Snap Ed, and identifying other curriculums like Cooking Matters. Of course, we also food brings in a lot of families, as we know. So family engagement, that's a really good carrot to wheel them in. And so that is another way that could do this. And so my final comments are, as you can see, we collaborated with our partners at Let's Go, utilizing their assessment tools that follows the HEPA standards to create program quality goals that are goals that we already were doing for 21st century, which is really awesome because it can be very overwhelming. I'm excited to continue conversations and learn from others and hear what other people are up to.